so the entire smelting area is now put in place. What's left to do, obviously, now is to gather up lots of furnaces and modules and chests and beacons and all that other stuff. It's going to take a little while before it all gets completely built, but we can do that little by little. And the copper station will be set up in a similar way. Steel as well will be set up in a similar way, except in the case of steel, we're going to have furnaces set up in pairs. So there'll be one furnace making iron plates and then feeding that into the steel furnace directly. That'll be a lot more efficient because, well, maybe not efficient, but it'll be less work for the bots to do if we direct insert. So they'll take iron ore to the furnaces for the steel plates to get made, and then they'll pick up the steel plates. It does make the layout a little bit larger for the same number of plates coming out, but that's okay. Getting a few more attacks at the iron base. I think I'm going to need to go down here and do some exploration and some biter clearing. And it might be a good time to start thinking about putting some walls in. Looks like most of my expansion is going to be east and west rather than north and south. In fact, I'll try to do that, and that way, as I get further and further away from the center of the map where we started, you know, with distance, the size of the resource patches will increase. So if I keep going, you know, either to the right or to the left, the patches will get bigger than if I kind of expand outward in a radius, if that makes sense. And what we could do down here is we could start walling in, you know, in between bodies of water. You know, so we would like wall in from here to there, and then from there to there, then from there to there, and that way you can use the bodies of water because the biters can't cross them, obviously. So you can use the bodies of water to your advantage to reduce the amount of wall that you need to set up to close in your base. So yeah, so rather than wall in the main base, I think when it comes time to walling in, that's what we'll do. We'll just start to wall in the entire region that we're occupying, including all of our outposts. But in any case, I'd like to continue getting our iron smelting area set up. We still have a lot of bits and pieces we need to take over there to finish getting that done. And you know, this iron outpost is so close to it. I'm almost tempted just to bring it in by belts, but this isn't going to last forever. So, yeah. So we'll go over there and continue working on that for a while. I have reconfigured my train a bit, so I can't afford to have two engines anymore, even though it is rather nice to have that. I do need an extra cargo wagon to put junk, because as we start to build these big outposts, I'm going to be picking up lots of trees and rocks and stuff. And my inventory is always full as it is. And then I also set up a new rail car that has mining drills, some extra belts, stack inserters, power poles, some logistics chests, roboports, modules, and beacons. Now these are going to take a while to fill up completely because a lot of this stuff I don't really have made yet. Beacons and roboports, for example. Actually, I don't know what's taking them so long. Let's take a look. Where do I make the beacons? I make those here. Oh yeah, it's because we're missing steel. My steel game is super weak right now. I mean, there's not much I can do here. I mean, sure, I could upgrade to blue belts, and that might help get a little more ore in for these last couple of furnaces, but that's not going to make a big difference. I think what I really need to do is get some more smelting done. Yeah, we need to get off-site steel smelting, and then we can just bring in steel plates by train, and we'll be able to bring in a lot more. So maybe we'll do steel next after iron is set up, so that we can satisfy the shortage. In fact, I might even just set up something temporary over here where I can bring in some iron plates and smelt extra steel just to put on our main bus. That wouldn't be too hard to set up. Alright, well, let's head over to the iron smelting and continue. Wait a minute. Shouldn't I have a lot of furnaces? Oh no, I don't need any more furnaces. Right. Okay, never mind. I don't need any more furnaces right now. This is getting closer to getting mined out. We're down to 69k. How's coal 2 doing? Well, we haven't started it up yet. Okay. Alright. Let's stop the train, and first of all, let's see if we can reach these biters down there with my turret. We can. Yeah, but you know what? I should wait until... I'll do that after I get some defenses set up. That's one thing that I haven't done here yet. We don't have any defenses to speak of. Alright, so let's grab beacons and modules. And I'm going to start down here. I'd like to at least get this first setup complete. Don't tell me I'm out already. That was it? Jeez. Okay. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Alright. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of steel. Now, the other thing we could do is I could start just pulling steel, or pulling iron plates off of the main bus. Because we do have plenty of iron plates right now. And I could just work on smelting iron plates off the main bus and feeding that to the rest of the base. That would help a bit. Okay. Yeah, so we're missing... Oh wait, stack inserters and chests I do have. Let me go grab those. And then I'll place some turrets around. And then we'll put our artillery into use. Okay, I think these two are pretty much ready to operate. You know, I mean, aside from the beacons, but we can even run it without beacons. If we have to wait a while for beacons, it won't be the end of the world. Alright, let me get these chests and stack inserters so we can get some more of that taken care of. Oh, now that I think about it, stack inserters might not be completely necessary on this setup. I mean, for loading and unloading, I think they are, but for the furnaces themselves, perhaps not. Okay, I think that's... Oh, give me those back. Yeah, I put them in my trash slot because I have it set up to automatically put excess in my trash, just so my inventory doesn't fill up too much. Okay, let's put in some turrets. I think what I could do is just put like one turret there and another turret there on each one of these segments. So let me copy that, and I'll remove everything except for the power poles and the turrets, and then I can... Or actually, I should... Well, let's see if that'll work up here. I'm not sure if that's going to work on this side. Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, that's compatible on both sides. So that way I can just kind of use that as a template for where to place these. Is that where it went? Yeah, right there. Okay. It's that one on the right is closer to the rail than I was expecting, but I guess that's okay. Okay, that one I can't do because of the radar. So this one I will move up a bit. That's fine. Okay, two more. And the other thing that I've neglected to do here is a refueling station. All right, and we got another level of research done, which is great. Yeah, that should go there. All right, so I guess I put it up there previously. All right, let's look at our turret coverage. Yeah, so as long as the aliens don't come running down the middle, we'll be okay. And I don't think they will. All right, so let's actually take this train down to the end before we start shooting. That way we won't have the aliens, you know, running through this whole setup before they get to me and attacking who knows what. And then, of course, I can also set up some extra guns to help. There we go. Oh, let's not forget the ones that are actually going to shoot them when they get here. All right, that should do it. All right, so there's one there. Oh, there's a bunch over here too. These are covered by the turret I left at the coal area though. So I'm not going to shoot those right now. That was it. That's kind of disappointing. Well, let's do a little exploration while we're at it. We'll just use that to reveal the map briefly and see what's out there. Okay, not much. How about over there? And right there. Okay, well I guess that's it. And then we'll go over to Iron 2 and we'll do some damage to that big one over there. Anyway, that's fun. I always enjoy that. Okay, are we missing any roboports? Yes, we are. So let's grab these roboports and help that along. That's it. Okay. Yeah, so it's going to take a couple more trips to get this completely taken care of, unfortunately. So we'll do that little by little. Like I mentioned, the other thing that I haven't put in here yet is a refueling station. So maybe we can take care of that now too while we're here. And I didn't leave much room for it. But what we could do is put it in the center. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I bring in another rail right here in the middle, I think that'll be a good place for a refueling stop. No. On second thought, you may recall that I mentioned before that I'm going to be making a depot for iron ore, because iron ore is going to go not only to this smelting area but also to steel smelting. And so I would like to consolidate all the iron ore in one place before I distribute it. And because all the trains, every train from the iron outposts and all the trains from I was going to say all the trains from the smelting area are going to need to go there too, but the fact is that the trains that pick up and deliver plates are not going to. Well, I'm going to have to refuel there anyway. So I'll refuel at the Iron Depot, and then I'll refuel at whatever destinations the... Well, no, because the trains picking up plates can refuel there. No, they'll have to refuel. Sorry. They won't be able to refuel at the iron area, at the smelting area, because I'm not going to put fuel there. So I'll have fuel at the Iron Depot. Let's write this out someplace so I don't forget. Refueling. So one is going to be the Iron Depot, and that's for anything moving iron ore around. Okay, the other one is going to be at copper smelting, because anything handling copper ore or plate is going to be going there. We're only going to have one destination for copper ore. I think we're already refueling at the rocket base, are we not? Yes, we are. Okay, so anything that goes to the rocket base gets fuel there, so we don't need fueling for any of those trains anywhere else. And then we'll take it from there. You know, there's going to be... We'll have to refuel like at Green Circuits. I mean, we're going to have to refuel at pretty much every place, unfortunately. You know, to be honest, it's something that kind of bugs me, is how difficult it is to keep your trains fueled up. Because I really think it should be a lot easier than this. Like there's a mod, for example, that allows you to set up a refueling station, like a single refueling station on your train network. And anytime a train runs low on fuel, it'll automatically send it there to be refueled. And I've been trying to think of ways that you could achieve that in the base game, but you know, the best thing I've been able to come up with so far is just having it so that, you know, so either that your trains go there every loop, or, you know, or set up a train schedule that has, for example, like your 2 stations repeated 4 or 5 times and then 1 refueling stop, you know. Or the other thing you could do is have a refueling stop and put a timer on it so that it's just disabled except for like 1 minute out of every 10, for example. You know, but that would be a disaster because then you'd have all of a sudden every train in your network all going to get refueled at the same time. So, so I think just distributing the fuel is, in the vanilla game, I think that's really the best way to do it, even though it's not really a great way. It would be really cool if you could program the trains to refuel themselves when needed. But it's a limitation in the base game because you can only tell the trains what station to go to and how long to stay there. There's nothing in the game that allows you to tell the trains when to go to a particular station. Right? You can only tell them how long to stay. That's just a limitation in the way it's set up right now. I think it would be really nice if you could put conditions on when to go to particular stations. And if you could do that, and if you could read how much fuel was in a train, which you also can't do, then that would solve that problem. Now, why didn't I see that one before? I must have missed it. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope that little bit of destruction that I just did will help reduce some of the biter attacks we've been having at my main base and at the iron outpost. I think it probably will, especially that very large one. Oh, see, they're all attacking over here. That's it? Okay. That would have been a good opportunity for the personal laser defense to get used. Alright, well, that one turret did a pretty good job. Oh, here we go. Personal laser defense. That's that seems a little bit OP, but that's fun. Okay, well, let's go back to the main base and see if we have more stuff ready to be picked up for iron. Okay, so refueling Iron Depot, copper smelting. I'm not going to refuel at steel because, again, I'll be refueling at destinations whenever possible. And all the ore trains are going to get fueled at the depot. So, tell you what, I'm gonna let this load, and then I'm gonna finish this off camera because this is going to involve multiple trips, and I think it's not going to be terribly interesting. So what I'd like to do now instead is to augment our steel production with some electric furnaces. So why don't we do that? Let's upgrade. Well, we'll have this as a yellow belt coming in. What we could do is it just me, or is it all like disappearing when it goes through this underground belt? Look how little steel there is here. Where did it all go? Oh, you know, yeah, it's getting pulled out from here because of my train going to launch rockets. I have it inserting into a provider chest, so I think whenever this gets emptied, it just sucks everything right off the belt. All right, so let's find a place where we can put some electric furnaces. I think up here would be just perfect. We'll put in some electric furnaces and we'll smelt some additional iron plates into steel. So if we put it south of here, then we could do something like this. That's 3, 6. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and use productivity modules. That way they'll use less iron plate than they otherwise would. Do I have beacons with me? No, I don't have any beacons. Okay, I don't need all those furnaces anymore. I am requesting beacons, but I don't have any. And all right, so we'll just do it like this for now, and then once I have plenty of steel available, I'll add some speed beacons. Okay, so I'm going to split off of this. Right, and I'm not using yellow belts anymore because I'm so smart. That was sarcasm, by the way. I'm sure you recognized it. All right, and then we'll do this here. All right, so we'll just split off a little from each side. And I think yellow inserters will be more than sufficient, since these do smelt rather slow, especially with no beacons of any kind. And with productivity modules, they're going to be quite slow indeed. Let's see how fast it goes, and maybe we'll just take out the productivity modules and put speed modules instead. That might be a better solution right now, since I want them quickly. Let's just see how fast they produce. What's our... Yeah, crafting speed's only 30% slower. That's not too bad. Might be worth it. Okay, and add a little power. Yeah, that's really slow. 1. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to... No, unfortunately. There's no easy way to do that, so it'll be quicker if I just pick these up and then replace them and put in speed modules. Okay, that's better. Are my inserters fast enough? Yeah, they are. Got a stack size of 3. Okay, so now these are 100% faster. So we'll make it twice as fast. Now it's only 12. It's only 12 furnaces, so it's not that much, but hopefully this will be enough to make a difference here. All right, so let's feed this down. Fortunately, I picked a place that is relatively open. Okay, we'll put that onto the belt. I don't think we need to upgrade the whole belt to red. I don't think we're going to get that much out of there. So let's wait for this to feed through and let's see if we need to upgrade the belt. No, I think that's just wishful thinking. This will help a bit though. If we take a look at our production numbers, that gave us a bit of a boost. So let's scale this up a bit. Let me get some more furnaces. Let's add more. This seems like a good idea. And what I'll do here is... Oh wait, no, sorry. That needs to go there. What I'll do is I'll just dedicate this whole top line right now to making steel. Alright, come back. Alright, so we'll... Actually, it would be better if I do this here. Alright, so that's not the cleanest way to do it, but it's also kind of temporary, so I'm not too concerned about that. Again, this is just until we can get a dedicated steel smelting area set up. And at that point, we'll be able to flood this place with iron plates, or steel plates, I should say. But for now, this should make a big difference. Okay. Well, again, it's not pretty, but it will get the job done. Oh yeah, let's at least... No. There we go. We'll at least try a little bit. Okay. Let's take a look at the output now. There's 1 minute, there's 10 minutes. Okay, so we're getting close to putting out double what we were before. So that ought to give us close to a full belt of steel. And it looks like it is. So that's good. That ought to help us quite a bit with getting all the beacons and roboports and stuff that we need. Now down here we're not really consuming any steel right now, so I'm not making solar panels at the moment. Red circuits are still looking not very well. So let's upgrade all these beacons to level 3 speed. So I didn't do that. I upgraded all the productivities to level 3, but not the speed. So that will give us, well, what, it takes us from plus 20% to plus 50%, so that should give us a nice boost in plastic production. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough green circuits and plastics coming in to maintain that, but you know, there's always a bottleneck somewhere. So if we look at red circuits now, wow, that does make a big difference, doesn't it? Yeah, so I think next we're just going to see that we don't have enough green circuits and plastic, and then, you know, and then it's just a downward spiral, and we'll be chasing our tails forever. But I think for now, just getting more steel is good enough, and I'm going to be happy with that. And we'll continue scaling up for the end game. Electricity, we've got tons and tons of electricity available, so that's not an issue. Once we get that smelting area running and get a couple more like that set up, then the power consumption is really going to start to take off. Yeah, you can see all those electric furnaces I have plugged in are consuming 10 megawatts. I don't know if they consume more when they're running versus when they're not running, or if they just draw the same amount of power all the time. But once I get the beacons and stuff out there, it's going to start sucking down the electricity pretty fast. So, you know, long term, by the time we get the base built up, we're probably going to need somewhere between 6 and 10 gigawatts of electricity, I would say, just based on my previous experience. But we'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, please let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.